And here we find us with the letter C, and this week I've chosen the word a cad, which I think is an absolutely beautiful piece of slang from the sort of the late 19th to middle of the 20th century. You might have heard of it before in this context as something like, "You, sir, are a bounder and a cad." So where's it originally come from? Well, it originally seems to have come from the Latin caput or head, and then through a range of things that I'll show now, it comes to capitellum, which means little chief, literally little head, and then into the French, or rather the Gascon, capte, to captain, chief, or youth of a noble family, into the English cadet in about the early 17th century, meaning a younger son or brother, into cad. In the early 1730s, it becomes a shortening of cadet, originally sort of around servants, but then sort of branching out. And then once we get sort of the early 19th century to the middle of the 19th century, it's sort of a person lacking in finer feelings, or a man who behaves badly or dishonestly, especially towards women. So why did I use this picture? Well, if you don't know who this is, shame on you. It's Terry Thomas, who's a rather fine English actor, born in about 1911, sadly passed away good 30 years ago now in 1990, and I think he gained a reputation for playing roles that are the epitome of caddish behaviour. And I've included an extract from one of his films just now, A School for Scoundrels.
Evening, Mr. Delaney.
Evening, Skinner.
Hello, Ray. Oh, hello. Palfrey.
Hello. Where did you find this lovely creature?
Oh, we met quite by accident, as a matter of fact. I was trying to catch a bus, and April was...
Well, do a decent thing, old chap. Fellow club members and all that sort of thing.
Yes, of course. Mr. Raymond Delaney, Miss April Smith.
What a romantic name. Oh, to be in England now that April's here. How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, you two chaps finished dinner already?
We haven't even started. We can't get a table.
Oh, fiddle-de-diddle. Skinner, my guest.
Certainly, sir.
Now, tell me, you lovely creature. Oh, Palfrey, look after Skinner, this chap.
Thank you, Mr. Delaney.
A lovely little video, as I'm sure you agree. Now, you might know his voice, in fact you'll most likely know his voice if anything, as Sir Hiss, the snake from Disney's Robin Hood. I think I've then got a little example of the poster from School for Scoundrels, which I think shows quite nicely how they'd envisaged how this worked and sort of the caddish behaviour concept. But I think if we're looking at Terry Thomas, I think a personal favourite of mine is his role in Those Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines, where he plays an aristocrat determined to win an aeroplane race by any means. He engages in a lot of underhand skullduggery. And you should definitely watch this film to see how a baddie gets their comeuppance back in the good old days. Now, I referenced the concept of a bounder and a cad, and the reality is that we see these being used really rather frequently, almost as synonyms, and there's not really massive difference. You can see sometimes people are saying that a bounder is a man who behaves badly or in a way that is not moral, especially in his relationships with women, and a cad doesn't always have that kind of association with behaviour towards women. It might just mean a man who acts with deliberate disregard for another's feelings or rights, but realistically they're very similar spaces, and I wouldn't get caught up too much. A bounder and a cad, and alas, the dear departed Terry Thomas. I'll see you back next week.